Hello and welcome back to Bold TV. I'm your host, Philip Michael, and let's get right into it. Now, if you watch the stock market, and even if you don't, you must have heard all about the insanity that was happening when Robinhood traders and GameStop's stock that just seemed to just go all the way, up. In spite of not having the numbers to support it. So basically what happened was members of a subreddit spent about 7 months buying into GameStop and causing the value of the stock to rise because of seemingly increased demand. At the same time, hedge funds were betting against the rise of GameStop, and when GameStop stock value shot up into the 400s, the hedge funds lost a lot of money, and so-called retail buyers made a lot of money in return, right? Now, it didn't stop at GameStop. These buyers are going after AMC, Naked Brands, Blackberry, and Nokia. All of these stocks went up huge amounts of money in a couple of days, but yesterday, Robinhood stopped allowing people to buy into these stocks, causing a lot of anger and chaos. A lot to unpack here. But here to break this all down even further and tell us what all of this means is the co-founder of Trade Zero America, Dan Pipitone, and CEO of Versus Games, John Vitt. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having me.
What's
Philip.
up?
Hello.
What's up?
All right,
How's it going?
we got to get some conversation going around this because there's too many questions. I don't even know where to begin. But Dan, I want to throw this one at you. Is this the first time something like this has happened?
No, it's not.
Talk to us. What's up?
This has been going on since, the market has been trading. Usually hedge funds are on the right side of it rather than the wrong side. Traditional retail has been, pooped on, if you will, for, as long as I've been doing this, where retail is not smart, retail doesn't know, retail is, kind of the last to react. And as we've seen really, over the course of the last couple of years, with the Teslas, the Bitcoins, now all of these sort of the retail reckoning that's occurring with Muriel Siebert, AMC, GME, as you mentioned, where, hey, look who was right in all of these instances. So I think that there is a retail reckoning, I'm calling it, where, I think that no longer the dynamic will be that, the retail investor is kind of the last to know.
It's interesting, this whole decentralization of influence and power and money, and it's something you're just seeing in a lot of places. You've heard talks about it with Bitcoin, which isn't really, it's a little off topic here. But, I mean, this is a little crazy, is it not, that people could just get together and manipulate money the way that they've done it? John, what are your thoughts on what Dan said and just this whole thing here?
Well, I don't know why that's even like an issue. I mean, this has been happening since day one, right? In Wall Street. This is what all those big hedge funds, they're doing this already all day long. The
That's
retailers, right. the free market, like us, we just don't know that. We don't have any control of that. So finally, the people rose up and were like, you know what? We're going to take control of this money and play the player, basically. And I think that's fantastic.
Is that why they're mad?
Well, they're making money. They're mad
the hedge funds?
because the hedge funds are losing money. They're mad. Yeah, absolutely.
So are they? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they mad because of this? Because they finally figured out the free market, us, the retail investors, so to speak, finally figure out what is happening here? Is that why they're mad? Like, what's the outrage about? What's the rage about from the side of the retail investor and from the hedge funds? What's the issue here?
I think it comes down to it's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. So
that's right. And when the mouse is getting the cat, everything is turned on its ear, and there's a whole new dynamic. The better hedge funds and the smarter hedge funds, money managers, they're adapting to all this. They're taking this in. They're putting it into their models, and I think that the funds that are attaching to this are going to be doing well.
Now, John, throwing it over to you. Obviously, your business has a lot of the the gamification of stuff, and people get to bet on random stuff here. And I think you're seeing an element of that, or at least some of the sophomore type of behavior where you just get together, do some silly stuff, and now it really has big ramifications. Now, why did Robinhood and other apps stop people from buying? Is that even legal? Can they do that? And what do you see there?
So me, John.
Go ahead, John.
They did stop and they paused it. That's why the free market, the people are really upset about that, because we're like, hey, we're making money for the first time and winning the game.
Exactly.
Now we're shut off. So it's like, don't hate the game, you know what I mean? You got to play in it. So yeah, they shut it off, and they went and got, because they're losing a lot of money, right? So Robinhood's bosses are Wall Street and the hedge funds, right? So they can't mess around with that relationship. So now they quickly, I think to save some face, they quickly went out there and raised and borrowed $1 billion to go and support the trades. But they're still slowing it down and stopping trades from happening on different stocks.
Dan, what's your take on that?
For us, we cleared Apex Clearing, and yesterday at about 11 o'clock, they called us and said, hey, we need you to stop and only facilitate closing transactions on these stocks. And I was like, no way, we're not doing it. We are an active trading shop, and my customers want to trade this. This is still America, last time I checked. And I don't see any rule that says these need to be restricted. So, we fought the battle yesterday. We one of the few firms to not restrict these stocks. But good I do understand. Sorry, just one more second. Of Apex and Robinhood, there are the broker dealers, there are capital requirements they need to maintain based on the notional trading value of their firm. And so in the morning, NSCC, which is sort of like the clearing firm, came out with some really high metrics for the capital requirements for the trading the day before. And I think that Robinhood had an issue in meeting that, which is why they restricted the trading.
So what is going to happen now? Because Robinhood, obviously, they came out, John, as you said, to try and save face. What's going to happen next week? How long is this going to go on? Are people going to pile onto other stocks? What's going to happen next?
Yeah. So, right now, they're trying to open things back up again, but slowly, but they're also closing new ones as well.
Right.
I think what's going to happen is people, they are suing Robinhood right now. There's a class action lawsuit because of their actions. And even like Google actually started deleting all their 1-star rankings and reviews to bring down the app's ranking. And now they've brought them back up, which is a little, just manipulative as well. And so what's going to happen is the angry mob, which is the free market, they're going to go and do this again. And they should. There's no law against this, right? So they can do it with a Bed Bath & Beyond or a Macy's, right? And those are really heavily shorted stocks. And they can go make money on it. It's all about free market versus big tech. Who's going to win more money? Who's going to lose more money?
Who's going to win at the end?
If you're asking me today, I think retail.
Really? Why is that? Strength in numbers?
Well, strength in numbers, exactly. And they continue to improve it. They continue to prove it. So, to that point, today we see Muriel Siebert, a Russell component that's gone from, I think, 3 to hit 25 this morning. You mentioned Macy's, Bed Bath & Beyond, and American Airlines. These are traditional blue chip companies, and in many places they're being restricted from trading.
That's insane. Now, one of the things that I'd like for both of you to break down for us in the audience is how exactly does it work? Do they get together in a chat and they say, "Look, guys, let's all buy this right now"? Like, break down in the most simplest of terms, how does this work, and then what's the causation what happens after that?
So yeah, for the Reddit boards.
They literally go on Reddit.
Go for it, Dan, and John, you chime in. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah, the Reddit boards are just message boards. We're actually going to we're looking to do an Ask Me Anything on the Reddit boards later on this afternoon. But they're just they're posts. People can interact with the posts, and there are many other like channels like Reddit. There are other forums and message boards like Raging Bull, and there are also a lot of smaller chat rooms that active traders and traders will congregate and share information.
And do they just make the trade at the same time? Do they say, okay, in 5 minutes we go? How does it work? Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's a mass thing where they time it and they coordinate it,
really?
Just like anything, whether it's like a protest or a movement. Yeah, it's all coordinated. It's all produced for sure and manufactured, which is why they're winning. People are coming on to our platform Versus Game in the millions by the millions and coming up with their own questions around this too, to see if they can short Robinhood app now. It's crazy.
Awesome.
And why is Robinhood taking the beating for this? Because Robinhood is not the only one that has halted trading. Why are they the ones that are taking that are being
true?
canceled?
There's like Trade, Webull. There's a lot of competition out there for Robinhood, but Robinhood happens to be the darling out there. It's the most popular one and the one in the media.
Is that fair that they're taking a beating because of this, and the other ones are just sort of
Well, Robinhood's tagline is "Let the people trade." So what they're doing right now is contra to what they've been selling the last few years.
Exactly.
And okay, so
not very.
Go ahead, John.
I was saying not very inclusive at all.
No, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like you're piling on the little guy, and little guy gets a little juice, and you don't want him to have that juice, so you snatch it right back, and that's just gonna angry mob type of effect. Now, how long is this gonna last? And before people jump onto something else, or maybe they'll continue. How long do you think is this gonna be a thing for a while?
I think so. I mean, literally, if I were you, I'd look at Bed Bath & Beyond and Macy's and the ones that Dan mentioned too. Like, I'm buying up, I'm going in.
So when do you cash out, or do you just stay there, because it can't be sustainable?
Well, you see,
Oh yeah, that's
a lot of price action overnight.
Go ahead.
And, Trade Zero is mostly it mostly caters to active traders. So many of our customers aren't holding positions overnight because of the inevitability of you don't know what could happen.
Right.
Even though we're open at 4 a.m. And from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., there is still that delta between the after hours close and the pre-market open that could be disastrous. So, from a day trading standpoint, you mitigate that overnight risk by being flat.
John, any thoughts from you?
Well, I don't think anybody really knows. They're all like the day traders out there. They're going to be looking and watching, and as soon as you see that like plateau and then tip, everyone's going to dump, and then it's going to be a few.
Yeah, isn't it going to be like a penny stock situation? Isn't it going to be a penny stock situation like you saw in The Wolf of Wall Street, where you pump it up and then you get out and then it just plummets? Are we going to see that here? Because that could lead to massive catastrophe. I mean, it's fun and games right now, but what's the fallout going to be?
Well, I think we've seen a lot of that.
I think the stock is already not doing well, right? Go ahead, Dan.
We've seen a lot of that already where, GameStop is moving, $100 or $200 a day. So they are falling. They are coming right back. So there are folks who own GameStop at $450 a share right now, and it's at $340, up $150 on the day. So there are already many folks who are, quote unquote, holding the bag right now, buying much higher prices. This is the stock market.
Insane. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us get some sort of understanding of what's happening. And man, it's a crazy time. I think we can all agree, but it's an interesting development, and it's making more people talk about investments and being cognizant and aware of assets, and something that we didn't. For my generation as a teenager, I didn't talk about any of this stuff. So I know if the next generation does, and again, an understanding,
right,
that's a plus. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you all for watching. Follow Bold TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Have a great day, and we're out of here.